What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting these possibilities for you to consider, enabling you to come up with your own conclusions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow decoders around the world, wherever you may be, my name is Logan. I'm going to be your tour guide for this presentation on the topic of Area 51, Vatican, Decoded. Area 51, Vatican. What does the Vatican have to do with Area 51? Up next on the world stage, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be seeing some aliens, man. I don't really do predictions, but kind of said this a few months ago. And, 2025, the card that represents 2025 is the Ten of Swords. Card number 60 in the tarot. Card number 49 in the Cards of Illumination. This is the card that's tied to head of the snake and down in a hole. And closure, right? Disclosure. This is what's coming on the world stage, ladies and gentlemen. And we get a lot going on in this image. We got the Vatican in the background. We have flying saucer in the background. We have a reptilian in the forefront, and on the top left we have the logo from the 1983 miniseries called V, which stood for visitors. And it's so interesting because Vatican starts with that same exact letter. Am I stretching anything here? Well, you see, as a code breaker, it's just that simple. We merely just find things to connect the dots to and create a story through. And that's what we're going to do here today for this presentation. So get buckled up, man. Put on a pair of headphones. Block out the outside world. This one's going to blow your mind again. I'm going to show you some things that you've never seen before. We'll put a lot of things into perspective. So I'm going to start off with chemistry, because everything is revolving around the periodic table. I promise it is. And vanadium has the letter V for its element. Vanadium comes from the word Venatus, which comes from Norse mythology. This is tied to Freya, the Norse goddess, Freya, if you go study this. But there are clues on the element. There's 23 protons. It has an isotope of 51. What is up with these numbers? I'm going to show you what they're connected to in a big way. So let's start here. And I think a year or two ago, I did a live report on Area 51 and cloning. And this was one of the slides. And what I'm about to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is something that'll get you thinking. Could it be that we as human beings were created by underground aliens? And all of the stories, including the Bible, emerged from down under. Not Australia or New Zealand, but under the ground. with the advanced technology of, in this case, extraterrestrials under the ground, and cloning has been taking place. And this would explain how you get all these different nationalities, because I just don't buy into all the nationalities coming from Adam and Eve. I just don't buy into that at all. It doesn't make any sense. And where all the history comes from, and why that 23 is called the Royal Star of the Lion, and why it's considered the luckiest number in numerology. Well, in chemistry, it's connected to the letter V, which is the 22nd letter in the English alphabet. And remember, the Hebrew alphabet has a total of 22 letters. And this letter is big because it's in the Yod-He-Vah-He, the V or the W. So there's huge connections to theology here. And could Jesus just be the effects of human cloning? And where you get the resurrection from? Well, I'm going to leave that up to all of you. I'm just giving you some deep material to think about as we move through this presentation. Because I think it's very possible to postulate that our origins could be by way of a laboratory underground. I mean that wholeheartedly. I really, really do. So let's continue on. And this is the show from 1983. I remember it because I watched it as a kid. I was only 10 years old when this came out. And this was about the visitors from another planet. It was a planet that was circling Sirius. And they were friendly, and they would share the technology with human beings in exchange for being able to be here on Earth and get their resources. Kind of similar, like we'll give you some advanced technology, government, as long as you allow us to do this, this, and that. And there are a lot of people that believe right now that the government is under the guise of aliens. And this gentleman right here says that. He's an author. He has books out, Whitley Strieber. And I clicked on this video as my last video to watch before I decided to shoot this. And I caught something right away. And if you look at this man, what kind of sweater is he wearing? Yeah, a V-neck sweater. A V-neck sweater. And folks, how do you explain this? Do I just pass this off as a mere coincidence? Why would I click on this video? Of all things, the last one I click on is to watch a little bit of this guy and what he has to say. I started to break him down and decode him. I could have included him. But what are the odds, what are the chances that he'd be wearing a V-neck? A V-neck. What is going on with me? Why are all these things happening to me as a code breaker? Again, the things that I look at that most people don't pay attention to. I just have the eyes to see it now. I mean, you don't miss these things anymore. So today, when I had no plans to do this decode as always. I got up today, and I went out and I did some things. I got back later on, and somebody had sent me something on aliens on the Patreon. So I want to say thank you to all you Patreon members. Somebody had said something about aliens. So I went back to my Area 51. I made a comment about that. And I went back to this video and I was listening to this. This is a very long, over 2 hours. And of course, I noticed on his shirt, he's got the Breaking Bad. And I was huge into this because there's chemistry on his shirt. Does that have any meaning? Why would Bob Lazar wear that shirt in particular? I mean, you could say he was a fan of Breaking Bad, but the makers of that show, what's up with the bromine and the barium, element 35 and 56? Is there a message there? And why would he wear it on this show right here? It's always a message. And what can we get from the podcast number 1315? Is there a message there? Of course there is. So that's what we're going to show here today. right? But I'm going to start with what Bob Lazar says in this video here of what makes UFOs possible, and the flight of them is element number 115, and it's called moscovium. And again, folks, this is how simple code breaking is. What would the odds be that the element that makes UFO travel possible, according to Bob Lazar, which has 115 protons, exactly is the same number of the longitude west of where Area 51 is located? Coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. It is an absolute humdinger connection here. What makes time travel possible with UFOs, or not time travel, what makes craft travel possible, Moscovium 115, and there it is in the longitude of Area 51. No, this is not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence. And now all we have to do is, what about the 37? Well, go right to chemistry. And you get this element rubidium. I mean, eye in the sky is 37. Burn in hell is 37. But when you do the molar mass using the trusty calculator, you get the digits of the GOD. How about that? 374. From the latitude, longitude connecting to the periodic table, and this is not just trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, because Bob Lazar said this is what makes UFOs move, Moscovium 115, and it's right there in the longitude west of Area 51. So I know this is a thing, and this is not the first time I've been showing the latitude, longitude, and I know a lot of you decoders have broken down your latitude, longitudes. Where do you live? What significant is it for you? So, in my 6660 Decoded, my newer one, I did mathematics on the 603 score 6 from Greek and the Greek text from the New Testament on Revelation 13 verses 18. And all you have to do is just do it through the prime numbers. 4409 is the 600th prime number to match this. 281 is the 60th prime number to match this. And then 13 is the 6th prime number to match this. And when you add them all up using the trusty calculator, look at the numbers that you get. 4,703. The 0 means infinite potential. I go back up. It's the same numbers. Same numbers. So when you start to put these things together, wait a minute, the number of the beast is tied to underground aliens? Who can defeat the beast? The beast will make you get a mark, so you must get the mark to buy or sell. Is it all coming from underground? Maybe, just maybe. Maybe, just maybe. So in my first Area 51 Decoded and Bob Lazar in this documentary that he did, I also showed that moscovium, not only does it have the 289 isotope, but it has one 286. And here it is right off of the Wikipedia showing you, and these are all synthetically made, but it doesn't matter how they're made, natural or synthetic. The clues are in the numbers, the nucleotides, the isotopes. There are all clues here. And one of the isotopes, the very first one, is 286. And I was like, I knew what this was. Are you ready to have your mind blown? Now remember, I said earlier, could it be possible that we are cloned and we are made underground by aliens? By extraterrestrials? That's why people get abducted? Well, 286, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly the numerology of all 8 known blood types. You're going to be one of these. There are 4 blood types, but when you add on the Rh negative or positive, you're going to either be, I'm AB negative, so I'm a Rh negative. You're going to be one of these 8 blood types. And you mean to tell me that the numerology is 286 to match moscovium 286, and 115 moscovium is what's used to make UFOs move? So you see, now we have a connection here of moscovium, not only tied to the latitude, longitude of Area 51, but tied to our freaking blood types. Like, this is a science fiction novel in the making here, but look at the connections here. So let's keep going with this. Let's bring some theology into this. Add another layer to how ridiculous this thing already is. And I'm going to go to Isaiah 14 verses 12, the Old Testament, and this is the only scripture in the entire book that mentions the deity of Lucifer. And remember, the Vatican sings to Lucifer. Isaiah 14 verses 12. And this is a technique that I was shown by the voice in my head. I don't take any credit for it. It's called theonumerology, God numerology. So we add up all the verses, all of them, up to chapter 14. And look at what we get. So now we have a connection between Lucifer, the first, the fallen angel, right? Wanting to go down and be a part of this reality, wanting to go down to hell, tied to our blood types, tied to these aliens and the underground aliens. And could Lucifer be the original gangster of the underground aliens? Could it be? And could that race, which are connected to the Nephilim, could they have started the race of Homo sapiens? I don't know. You don't know. It's an area to talk about. And going back to chemistry, Isaiah 14 verses 12, what's 14 plus 12? 26. And what's pumping through your blood, folks? Iron. It's essential for the oxygen to move through the blood. Iron. And 56, lights, camera, action, being inside the movie. Now, iron, and this is where we're going to get into Latin and how we're going to get into the Vatican here. See, iron's abbreviation is Fe because it's a Latin word called ferrum or ferrum. And I'm going to use the Latin cipher, of course. The numerology in Latin, I'm going to use the Latin cipher for this technique now. And it gives us a 57. So I went to the 57, and I'm going to connect another layer, which is the tarot, to get a picture. Because then I can go deeper with this. This is the 7 of Swords. This is tied to Prison Planet, because this person's holding 5 swords, and it's got 2 left behind, and this is obviously 52. And if I go to the periodic table, and we look at 52, it's earth. It comes from the Latin word tellus, which means earth, the 5 and the 2. Holding 5 swords, leaving 2 behind. There's a subtle 52 there, folks. There is. And the 57 and the 7 of Swords comes from the 7 of Spades, which just so happens to be the founding date of Apple freaking computers. And Apple computers is tied to Lucifer because it's the biting of the freaking apple. I mean, are you seeing this? It was founded, Apple computers, which I did a full decode on this. It was founded on April 1st, 1976. Nephilim in Hebrew numerology equals 76. April 1st on the Gregorian calendar is 4/1, which coincidentally is the latitude north of the Vatican City. I mean, am I stretching this? 41. The cross is crux in Latin, 41. And the Y and T, the letters Y and T are 41 because the Y is Jesus, on that T, the cross. That's why you'll never see me wear that symbol. Folks, this is now going to underground aliens and reptilians, and they live, and it's coming all back around to that, which I already covered years ago, but now here it is again. I mean, let alone that all roads lead to Rome is 179, which is the 41st prime number, which matches their latitude north, which matches the word cross, which connects to the founding date of Apple computers, which is about biting the apple. Here, Eve, bite the apple, man. This is a card about deception here. This is a card about being deceived. It means strategy as well, but it can mean deception. I mean, this thing looks like a freaking spaceship. Are you seeing this? April 1st is day number 91/92. 91's tied to Lucifer. I'm going to show you how that is. All right, so let's get into some of this Latin with the Area 51. Man, I'm telling you, this Latin, I've had so many highlights come, so many things revealed. I mean, Chaldean's been such a great cipher to use, but this one, wow. So, of course, you know, Lucifer is a Roman construct. It was created by the Latins, man. And there's the 51. Area Lucifer is what it should say. And Area 51 in Latin is 75, which matches the word Lucifer in Hebrew, where it originally came from Isaiah 14, verses 12. I mean, is this stretching anything? We're mixing multiple ciphers here, but we're using originations. We're using originations. So as we continue on down here, we can see through mathematics now with that 75, since it's so big here. And how we could see Area 51, Area Lucifer. So is Lucifer the underground alien head honcho, the OG, the fallen angel? 75 is the number that's tied to the 379. 379 is the 75th prime number. Why would I be showing this? Well, it just so happens that Vatican City and the calling code is 379. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds that the Vatican City can pick whatever, because they're tax exempt, they're their own city, they're their own government, etc. They can choose whatever they want. Why would they choose plus 379? And why would it attach to that 75th prime? And why does Lucifer in Hebrew, where it originally came from, equal 75, which matches Area 51, 75? And why is Lucifer 51 in a Latin word? Because this is hell, or Halel, which means shining one. And then the Roman Catholic Church converted it into Lucifer. So this is a Latin word, a Roman word. And who named it this? Well, I bet it has something to do with the Latin and the Roman Church. All roads lead to Rome. I bet it had something to do with the Vatican City. Yep. Let me keep going with this and show you some more information here. So let's go back to this video. If you haven't watched this interview, it's like over 2 hours long, but here is Bob Lazar. And then he even said there was some things he couldn't say. But I'm like, is there a clue here? Because again, how does all this stuff get scripted like this? Who is doing the frickin' scripting? I mean, are all these people on this big, massive conspiracy? Like, how do you explain my script? Because I'm not belonging to any of these organizations. I'm a code breaker. Anyway, it's podcast number 1315. So I'm going to go to mathematics with this. And I went to the string of pi. Why pi? Because it's tied to Ra. Ra is 314. This is the signature of Ra. And I already showed there's the total books of the Old Testament from the Latin Vulgate, going all the way to the 27 books of the New. I did this in All Roads Lead to Rome. But there's the 1315, man, in the string of pi to match that episode number. And look at how many total digits there were. 201. What are the odds? Maybe hitting a scratch ticket a few times. Now you know why perhaps the Pope resides in room number 201. Is it possible? I mean, let alone the 63 and the 138. This is tied right to Ra, the 138. Radium-226 has 138 neutrons. For sure. 63 is tied to copper. Anyway, let's keep going with this. And then we have a total of 851 for all those 201 digits. And as a code breaker, we don't have to get them exactly the same. So I go to chemistry again, right? Again, we just simply connect and we get the 75th element. There's that 75 again. And this is Ra or Re, because that's what, if you study ancient Egypt, it's either Ra or pronounced Re or Re. R-E, and you can add on yttrium onto that. Rhenium, 75 and 75 goes back to that Area 51. Are you seeing this, folks? So it's episode 1315 about Area 51. I find it in the string of pi. The total is 851, which is exactly that right there for that isotope. And there are 75 protons in its Area 51. I mean, are you seeing the connections? This is how you break code. This is the code that writes the final product that we call life. And I don't know who wrote it. God, supernatural. Maybe it's underground aliens that are writing all this stuff. And the technology is so advanced that this is how it comes out and we're just reverse engineering it. I don't know. But folks, come on, man. What do you see here? Again, just the narration. This is the original in Hebrew of Isaiah 14 verses 12. And this is the original conversion into the Latin of Halil. It's called Lucifer. 75, man. 75. Are you seeing this? I hope so. So what about the day that this came out? More layers of whoever's doing this. If they're purposely doing this, why would they purposely be doing it? That would be the question I would have. Someone's actually sitting down and doing this on purpose. I just don't buy it. It's too perfect. June 20th, 2019, 65. I knew what that was. And more Lucifer. This is the son of the morning. And Lucifer is known as the son of the morning, as is Jesus. Who do you think Jesus is? Take a wild guess. The rising of the sun. This is Horus. This is the Egyptian mythology. Horus and Set and Ra and Osiris of the underworld. The mythologies play out here. Different cultures. 65 is tied to the Eucharist if you've been paying attention. Keep eating them. This is the body of Christ. Keep sucking down those wafers, people. Then we can go to the flux capacitor. What makes time travel possible? The DeLorean was a time travel device. Well, there's the Y right on it, obviously. This is Jesus, by the way. Yep. Well, you go and connect it to yttrium. This is tied right to the serpent. This is what comes out of a serpent's mouth, the letter Y. The tongue of a serpent is Y. The serpent is the reptilian aspect. And then we have Lucifer in the Hebrew without the gematria, without the triple digits. 39, which matches alien. There's the 39. Yeah, are you seeing these connections? Time travel, man. Time travel. So this yttrium, the flux capacitor, was in this documentary, Bob Lazar, Area 51. He was drawing it out. It's right there. You can't miss it. It's right there. You can't miss it. I picked up on it right away. Yep. Right away. And there's a reason why plutonium's on here. That's tied to Lucifer as well. 88's tied to Ra. All these connections. But there it was right in the documentary, the flux capacitor. And this was right off of the documentary. They were called gravity amplifiers. There were 3 of them that made the craft move, which was powered by moscovium 115, which again was the longitude of Area 51, is the longitude of Area 51. So Area 51 ties to this element called vanadium, because there's the 51, isotope 51. So I did the Latinized. It comes from the word venatus, which matches duality. There's also in the most popular Bible on the world stage, the King James. It's a Protestant version. How many books are there? 66. 39 in the Old Testament, 27 in the New. 66. Route 66. 66 is one digit less of 666. And 23 is that lucky number. I mean, even in, well, I already showed this. When you go to Chaldean and you type in the word blood, there's the 23. So I got the blood smatter here. So again, I postulate, were we created underground? We don't know what our origins are. Nobody has a clue of where we came from other than stories we read in the book that we pass on. But there's no way to prove those. So this V, again, V, the 22nd letter, there are 22 total letters in Hebrew. The Yod-Heh, Vah-Heh, I mean, there's just so many clues here. So here's the vanadium, and of course, these are all clues. All these numbers are clues. And look at the boiling point of vanadium. 3,407. Which, do you remember what that was? That's the GOD. 3407. Same numbers right there. They're right there, which I showed in the beginning. So is this saying that God is the underground aliens that created us and the book, or the books that were created? Maybe they were created from a computer, man. They were spit out by a computer from ancient technology underground. See, we can't leave that out. I know that goes against the grain of so many of your truths out there, but what if with this code here? So we also go to this element called antimony to match that 51. Again, we just simply connect the dots. Antimony is called stibnite, stibium. This is another Latinized spelling. Antimony 121. And look at what it says. Now think about this. We're talking about aliens, right? We're not alone. We're not alone. Are you seeing this? Anti-monos. We're not alone. We have visitors here. They've been here. They're underground. I mean, the Naga people, the serpent race, if you go over to India, they live underground. They live under the water. Serpent people. The Nagas. The cobras. And this is tied to our brains. If you slice your brain in half, this is what you're going to get. This is the all-seeing eye of Horus. Horus is the rising of the son of the morning, Lucifer. So again, I postulate, could we have been made in an underground laboratory, human beings? Is that really too science fiction? Is it too far out there? We're not alone. Area 51, right? So here's the Latinized spelling of it. Stibium. That's what this SB stands for. And that's 69. That's the freaking yin yang, which matches to Catholic. This is the official word in Latin for Catholic. Catholica. Coincidence? No way. Nope. This connects to the 69th tarot card, which is this. There's the church. Church is right on the damn card. This is duality, man. 69. That's the card of duality. So this connects to duality, and this connects to duality. This area connects to duality. Were we made from underground aliens? You know, if you study Prometheus in the Greek mythology, Prometheus is said to have created men out of clay. Prometheus is tied directly to Lucifer. Hands down, straight up connected to Lucifer, Prometheus, the Titan. The Titan. So let's look at his shirt. I told you I would cover that. Let's break down Breaking Bad. Okay, break down the show. But again, why did he wear this particular shirt on this interview? It's a message. And the 35 and 56, the two protons, give you 91, which goes to protactinium. Protactinium means the first. Is this alluding to the fact that the first underground alien is Lucifer, and that's where you get the Nephilim story, the giants, and did they create our offspring? Is that what happened? Well, this 91 right here is tied to Thomas John Ellis Hooper, the guy they casted to play Lucifer, the hit show Lucifer on Netflix. Yeah, his birth certificate name with his mother's maiden name, 91. Another mere coincidence, right? Just something to pass off. No, it's no big deal. Nah. What did he do? You're just trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, Logan. That's stupid. That's dumb. Well, is it? Is it? Is this what he's trying to tell all of you? All of us? Could this guy be a freaking alien? Thomas John Ellis Hooper. There's a serpent right on the damn icon. Okay, this means the first. It comes from the word protos, which means the first. So now we're going to get to some more theology. I've already covered this organization. Let's do it again. Updated information. Here is the numerology of the founding date of this organization. And they're big on Jesus. They defend Jesus, by the way, because they're the militants. If you get out of line, man, well, they're all about Jesus Christ. The Society of Jesus, which is, well, they're the defenders of the Vatican. Well, their numerology is freaking 91. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Why would they have a numerology of 91? And why would he have a numerology? The only guy they cast to play Lucifer, why does he have a 91? I mean, he's got the 16th card in the deck for his birth card, and the word hell is 16. It's the tower. What's going on here? Well, consider, ladies and gentlemen, that 1540 was a leap year. So September 27th was the 271st day of the year. And in mathematics, 271 is the 58th prime number. 58. And 58 is the element cerium. And this was exactly the theonumerology of Genesis 6 verses 2, where the sons of God, they saw the daughters of men and they thought they were beautiful. And so they incarnated and they ended up mating with them and making babies with them. So you add up all the verses and you get the 140. And the 140 is tied to the number 58. Are these men of the Society of Jesus, the fallen angels, the sons of God, the offspring of the sons of God? Folks, this symbol, wow. That's all I can say, man. So I'm telling you, folks, Jesus is Lucifer, Lucifer is Jesus. My final answer. You can believe what you want, but there's no question with these connections. How about the word Jesuit in Latin? You got to use the Latin for the Vatican and the Society of Jesus. It's all in Latin, so you use the Latin cipher, and there's the 66, and we go back to Venatus and duality 66. So there you go. There's the connecting point between the Jesuit and the Vanadium and Area 51 now. And are these the sons of God, Ignis and company who created the Society of Jesus? Were they just the sons of God that decided to come down here and become fallen angels, and they live underground and they created offspring and they create order by way of religion to keep you in check, to make you believe a certain set of things in life. Well, again, I mean, if you study this show, it's a very unique show because it was a miniseries and it wasn't on very long. And what's up with the V, man? The only element that's got the V, the 22nd letter in the alphabet, the word. This is the 22nd letter in the alphabet, folks. You go back to the periodic table. What's the 22nd element? The freaking Titans. The Titans. There's the 22. This is tied to Prometheus. Straight up tied to Prometheus. So I'm telling you, the underground aliens, and I have no doubt in my mind now, zero doubt. I mean, me and Jason Bashir's over at Archaics, when we did our podcast on there, talked about that. We are both in agreement. But folks, now it's beginning to look like the power and control comes from underground, and perhaps our origins are from underground. I know it sounds very science fiction-y, but anyway, this show in 1983 was directed by Kenneth Johnson. So of course, is he scripted? Of course he's scripted. Notice how many spacecraft there were. 50. 50. So here's the man who created the show, written and directed by, but he didn't write and direct it. It was the voice in his head, and maybe he's a freaking alien. I don't know. I say I don't know. But his name is 209. That connects to polonium and the moon, the dark side of the moon. But this is coming in line with my all roads lead to Rome, and showing you how you can take you can take these numbers and you could start to do mathematics with it, and you take the total amount of tarot cards, 78, and you just subtract until you get to 78 or below. And his is the freaking 3 of Swords. Card number 53. So this guy writes the V miniseries, which obviously is Vanadium. And this is tied to cloning, because clone is 23, blood is 23. This is tied right to Lucifer, the first fallen angel. And this guy writes the show. His card becomes the 53 through his name numerology. And the 53, it's just the latitude, longitude of Vatican City. 41 plus 12, 53. So we go back once again, bridging this man's life. We have 3 separate. We have this man. We have the V series that he wrote. We have Area 51. We have the 51 here. Venatus leads to the Vatican. Vatican starts with the letter V. And then his card from his name numerology matches the latitude, longitude of Vatican's location. Come on, man. It's too perfect. Why is it so perfect like this? Why? Because something of super intelligence wrote it. Because there's no way man or woman could ever write something like this. No way. Too many moving parts. Too many people would have to be involved in the conspiracy. And then the 53, going back to the Society of Jesus here. This is it in Latin, right? Society of Jesus right here. 119, right there, 50. 10. 10 is 41. 41 is the latitude north of Vatican City. 119 minus the 78 total amount of tarot cards gives us the 41. That's going to be tied to the 5 of Hearts, the 5 of Cups. But did you notice the 50 here? Yeah, how many ships? 50. How many Bitcoin first mined? 50. What's on the back of a $50 bill? In God we trust. Oh, is that a thing? Sure is. Right on the back of the dollar bill. 50. So just what is God, folks? Why is there 50? Why were there 50 Bitcoin mined? Why is that the case? What is going on with all this stuff? Well, let's get to the tail end of this. So I did tin. We did it here. Tin is 41, matching the latitude north of Vatican, right? But see, this is a Latin word called stannum right here. Again, more Latin. All these elements on the periodic table, most of them are Latin words. Stannum is 76, which matches Nephilim. The fallen angel story, the sons of God that went to go down and mate with the women. This is the underground alien story. I mean, Genesis is 76. Bear shit, in the beginning, equals 76 in Hebrew. The starting point of the Holy Bible, the very first word becomes 76, a value of 76. And the 76th element is osmium, the Wizard of Oz, the operating system. Go ahead and get out your calculators. Please do it. I didn't put it out there. I'm going to let all of you go ahead and add up every single number you see on these two elements. Go ahead and add them all up. And the number you're going to get, you're going to probably laugh, or you'll be like, your jaw will be on the floor. Because you know what it will go back to. Okay? I think I had this one out of order, but 53. This adds up to 53. I am that I am. Could the Bible have been written by a freaking quantum computer, like all the other ancient texts, scattered about, and our origins come from underground aliens? Is that a thing? Could it be a thing? Well, you know what they're connected to? Maybe their race is. Oh, there it was. I did have it. I forgot I had the slide. You had them all up. 437. Remember what that 437 was tied to right there, number of the beast. So this is saying the number of the beast is 10, and this is tied to Jupiter. And osmium, the Wizard of Oz. Just from doing the numerology of stannum. So you can do this with all the elements. Start playing around with it. You're going to get massive clues. We already showed the number of the beast already in the beginning. So I'm going to leave you with this. This is Pope Paul VI Hall. What do you see here? Do you see a serpent? See the fangs right there? This is looking at the stage. This is looking out from the stage. Okay? Are you seeing this now, folks? So now you know. And I think these connections are undeniable and very interesting. Super interesting. And this just may be one of the most thought-provoking breakdowns I've ever done. Just because it's just so easy to see this now. And the connections are very insane. I really don't know what else to say. But I would love to hear what you saw. Keep your comments coming. Just remember, it's all about love in here. You don't have to agree. Keep your comments cordial. Because I have no toleration. They won't make it. But put down what you saw. But this is what's coming next. Up next on the world stage. The aliens are going to come. The visitors are going to come. But they've already been here. I mean, UFO activity's been going like gangbusters. They're going to come up from underground. They ain't coming from outer space. They're already here. Been here. Mingling with human beings. That's my opinion. Can't prove it. Never met one. But maybe I will now that I've bringing this out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for today. My name is Logan for Decode Your Reality. Until next time, we will see you later.